And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and it is Thursday morning. We are so close to the end of the week. I hope you're doing well. A little warmer today as you're starting out, where we had, 58, 57 yesterday. We're sitting at 64 as you wake up today and begin your day. As you'll notice, we'll have details on this coming up at 7 o'clock. We just got confirmation. I thought it did happen, but we didn't get confirmation until just a few moments ago of a overnight armed robbery. We got details of that, where it happened and what went on. That's coming up at the top of the 7 o'clock hour. Hope you'll be here to join us for the Scotty Ray Report with Scotty Ray and Odie. And Odie's bright today. Can't make fun of him because I've got the same shirt. That's the bad part. We do hope you got a smile and you're ready to face this day. Let's get a good word. Let's get it started off in the right direction as we head out to Collinsville First Baptist Church. I was there last night. We'll give you details on that also after 7.
Sacrifice is something that's hard for most of us. Whether it be sacrificing of your time, your diet, or even your pride, it's sometimes hard to deny that fleshly desire that we have. But in Romans 12, we see Paul tell us to present our bodies as living sacrifices. Well, what does that mean? In all things, we must submit to Christ in His leading. There's no part of our lives that He does not own if we are His. This is the big hang-up for most people in submitting to Jesus and walking with Christ. They say, hey, I want my life my way. I want to do it how I want to do it. But the question is for you and I as believers, how do we live this out? How am I supposed to live out my life as a living sacrifice to Jesus? In other words, where does my motivation come from? Well, Paul tells us that it's in view of the mercies that God has given us. See, Christ died on the cross so that you can have immense joy, immense pleasure, immense life with Him. So the question is, do you view the sacrifices that you make? Do you view walking with Jesus in light of your own strength and your own struggles? Are you looking ahead, as Hebrews would tell us, to the author and finisher of our faith, to Jesus Christ, and the work that He did, not only in dying on the cross, but rising from the grave, so that you would have new life and walk with Him? I pray that that would be a reality in your life, and that you would look to Jesus. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Always good. If you had a chance to see all the kids that were out there last night at Collinsville, they were doing great things there. If you need a church, they open Sunday morning. Love to have you as a visitor. Might make it your home after all. It begins there. Let's see. As we start looking at what's going on in America, this is just wrong. You can say all you want, but I can't believe a company this day and time would try this. There's lots of major airlines, including American, United, Southwestern Airlines, that have pulled planes from their fleet and grounded them. Why? A parts supplier. Well, what's wrong about that? Well, they faked their safety certificates on parts they were selling. When it comes to airplanes, you have to have every part certified that it can do this and that. They even say the company went as far as to fake employees that they had, false pictures showing that they had more employees than they had. Now that the parts are on planes, there's nothing to back it up. They have not been tested. So those planes have to be taken out of service. We all know what could happen quickly. That's major. I can almost smell the attorneys running. I'm sure y'all can too. This is going to be AOG Technics is the name of the company. They won't be in business long. That will take them down. And you hate to say you told you so, but he did tell you, as Donald Trump is gloating, so to speak. Well, he is saying that I was right all along, as Biden now scrambles to finish building the wall in Texas. They have finally figured out that Donald Trump was right about all of this. Donald goes, you're right. Donald goes, you got killers in there now, organized gangs, and he is 120% right on this. The amount of people that has come in, they know of about 2 million. No, you now think of those that cross that they let. We even saw pictures of Border Patrol that were cutting fence to let people in. Is the United States finally going to crack down on this? I mean, my first thought is you put them on a bus and you go back to the border, open the door and say, go back. Yeah. Now, Also, in the same breath as I say this, New York Mayor Eric Adams, who welcomed them, oh, come on to the city. After they got them, they go, we got a problem.
We ain't got no more room.
He's asking a judge, Odie, to suspend the right to shelter law after more than 122,000 people have showed up from crossing the border illegally. It is going to be where you cannot walk down the street. This is going. Do y'all remember the movies of the Wild Wild West? We are quickly headed there. We have no police anymore because these bright individuals also that told you, come on over across the border, said, we don't need the police. Our country is in shambles, believe it or not. Now, I know that there's those that will watch me and argue of we're safe, nothing ever happens. There's always that believe that. The facts are different, though. You can see it every day. The headlines will report it. It's not to scare anybody. It's to inform you. This is what's going on. Small town America, not as bad as the large cities by any means. But once they overtake the large cities, then they come to the rural route. It's happening. Y'all know that as well as I do. And there's just, you take these small town police forces that don't have enough people right now. Think of the large cities. L.A. that's lost, 11,000 officers? Isn't that about right? 9 to 11,000 people that protected the city. And they were going to hire people that were not police officers to go invent. You remember that little stunt of no guns, no nothing? Y'all come check it out? Yeah. Criminals really pay attention to people like that, don't they? Ford. And other big news this morning, lays off 400 people this morning. Why is that? That's because of the strike. You can expect that this keeps climbing, that car prices will jump. It's already to the point you can no longer negotiate a price that's on a sticker. You have to pay it or, well, you don't get it. Somebody else wants it. Too bad, so sad. That's the truth. It's just going to get worse there. It's been in for a month. In some cases, I'd heard 20%. Now they're saying it's 25% wage increase that they want. How much more can we take? We'll see how that turns out there. Girl Scouts, I didn't realize this. Some type of raspberry flavor. Were you familiar with this, Odie?
No.
It came out on a special edition where you could only order it online. Prices were a tad higher, but it was so popular that it started hitting eBay and people were charging $200 a box for the stuff. Girl Scout says they're not going to reissue any of those because of the price thing that happened and focus more on the original flavors. $200. There's no cookie that I would pay to. Even the Thin Mints that I like. I don't know who sells it, Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, but they're good. What do you call those that have the stripes that are chocolate? The Tag-along that may put weight on you. I'm not real sure about that. That's just rumor. I want to deter anybody from buying any. They sure do taste good, don't they? But the raspberry, well, they're not going to be doing that. eBay resellers started charging $15 to $180. Whoa, boy, that must have been popular. Oh, San Francisco, Starbucks closing another 7 stores. Why? Theft. Goes back to what we were talking about just a moment ago. And I know Odie's supposed to be upset about this. This is the second time this has happened at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. This time, Commander is being removed. Oh, yeah, they got pictures of him biting all the Secret Service agents. The dog is leaving. Now, where did the other dog? There was another German Shepherd that went away.
It bit.
It bit. It must be something to do with the owner.
That's the way I look at it.
Anyway, he's going away from Pennsylvania Avenue. It would just seem that, I'm guessing here, I doubt they take up a lot of time with the pup. Let's just be, if you're not going to take up time with something like that, get a dog that's not known to bite. You know, a golden retriever, one that'd be happy sitting around and wave at everybody. No, let's get a German Shepherd. Put him at the White House. It always bothers me for someone to get a pet and then never take up actual time with it. No, I'm not there. I don't know that. That's just probably a good educated guess for someone that seems to be having problems to find what door and where to exit off a stage. That's my 2 cents. I added that. I can't back that up or prove that. Y'all fill in the blank. Dogs can't help it. They are what they are. And if you get a German Shepherd, they are aggressive. Secret Service probably don't like that. I would think that the White House probably has tons of dogs like that are trained for people that come over the wall that shouldn't be there. Maybe that's where Commander needs to go.
You can train them to be nice.
You can train them to be
You
nice.
gotta train 'em.
Training is everything there. As you know, it's like shaking hands. Y'all know all that. We'll be right back with a closer look at your forecast as we start this day together.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Every event starts with a great grill, great cookware, and accessories. Add in some locally sourced meat and dairy, along with frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, day beds, and have fun with our cornhole boards. From coolers to trailers, we have everything you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the Back Porch.
Lots of comments about the pups there. Yorkies. Laura said he needed a Yorkie. That may be more of what they needed there. He could just yelp. Yip, yip. Y'all know how those work out there. A Chihuahua, Bob says that might be. A Pug. That would have been a good choice there. And Sally probably says it best. And I think all of us, if you really step back and look at this, dogs are one of the best judges of character there are. They immediately know when somebody walks up. Watch them of who they like and who they dislike. They can pinpoint a criminal in a heartbeat. They'll go to yapping and a barking. Y'all know that. Let's get into our forecast now as we start this day at 64.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we go back to, 1954, it was 97 degrees on this day. A little bit closer to today's time in 1987, it was 36. A couple of days that it was cold there. Now, the outlook for today as we come across this is going to be somewhere around 88. Look at that. No rain really mentioned for the Meridian area in Lauderdale County and Clark, but we do see a chance of sprinkles there moving into Newton County, a little bit more in the northwestern corner of Neshoba County, and hey, Winston County, y'all may get a little bit there. We'll look at radar in a moment there. A 10% chance is what is out there. It will increase to 30% tomorrow. We'll look at that in a moment. As we go to Bama, no rain going to happen there. 86 in Demopolis, 86 Tuscaloosa, and a cool, nice 83 in Birmingham there. Now, here's the outlook of that wildfire danger. It's not stopping anytime soon, all the way through Saturday. Look at this. Elevated threat for the Meridian area. What does that tell us? Although it's fall, do not burn. No campfires, none of that stuff. If you have to do something in the backyard, use a gas fire. That way it turns on and off. Actual fire can spark. That's what all the firemen are urging you to do. As we glance across for that 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, we do show that it's a little bit warmer than it has been, where that normal has passed. Warmer weather out in West Texas starting to come in. Hopefully it'll stay away and we'll keep these nice temperatures. As we move for that 7-day outlook, here we are. 88 today, 65 for a low. All of this changes as we get into the weekend. 80s through Friday. Look at Saturday. 72 for a high and that low, 47. As you wake up Sunday morning, the high is only going to be 70, 46 for a low. As we go back to work on Monday, it's not bad. 77 with a low of 50. Those are kind of perfect temperatures as we go another 7 days, and we're basically staying in the 70s for 2 weeks. There may be a day that it could hit 80, but overall, we're looking at 72 to 79, somewhere in there. We got a big chance of rain moving in on the 12th, and when I say big chance, I mean 50% chance. That's more than we've had in a while. Even on the 13th, Friday the 13th, a 42% chance. All of that's likely to change because it is the South. Don't forget that. But we can't complain about this weather as we head into the fall with 70-degree weather lined out for the next 2 weeks. It'll start going down after tomorrow. Be ready for that. Let's see here. As we move to what's happening in the tropics this morning, here's our outlook. Philippe, or Philippi, however you want to say him, as I mispronounce him every day. Still a tropical storm moving along at 40 miles an hour. Millibars is 1,004. And if it stays on track, we'll show this on radar in a minute. It should end up in here right at the U.S.-Canada border is where it's headed. We'll look at it on radar. We do have a 30% chance of another storm that is just developing off the west coast of Africa at this point. Now, fishing forecast for today. Here we are. Major time right now through about 8 o'clock this morning. You get another chance right at dark. Might not be as good. But if you're a professional fisherman and you got to be there, get there about 5:30. Your best chances are this morning. The wind's going to be light and variable, becoming 5 to 10. Now, deer hunting, here's what we got laid out for today. Your first major time was from 5 until 7 this morning. As we look for the minor time, 1 o'clock this afternoon. At dark will be our next major time. And we all know how that is as the deer come trotting in at about 5:25 and you can't see them. You see an image and that's it. That's where it's going to be. Light, again, east-southwest wind, 5 to 10 is what we've got when it comes to all types of fishing and hunting if you're going to be out today. Brought to you by Collinsville Meats. We do appreciate that. A brief overlook at headlines says Shaping America and our forecast at this point. Now, we've got all of our local events that are coming up at 7 o'clock. I hope you'll be back for that. We'll all learn something together as we have this and that and breaking news and things that happen. Okay, Bob says you pronounce it Philippi, but it looks like Philippi. Yeah, that word too. That storm needs to go away and have something named Mary that I can pronounce. I'm telling you, I'm just one step away from being at CNN. Y'all just hang on. We'll be right back at the top of the hour. I hope you'll join us. Scotty Ray and Odie on the way for the Scotty Ray Report.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.